If you want a Need for Speed Most Wanted remake, it seems all you need to do is keep asking for it, as one actor from the series says that anything is on the table at EA. What about everything? So, I read this headline and I thought it was pretty cool, especially because Need for Speed Most Wanted is actually my favorite Need for Speed game. That's the one that I gotta say, hands down, is the one that I spent so much time playing, mainly because I just really enjoyed doing like the police chases and everything like that. I thought it was so cool, as well as the fact that at the time that I was playing this game, I was able to figure out how to hook up because I was always playing it on the GameCube. So I figured out how to hook up my GameCube to the stereo that I had at the time. So there would be like hours where I would just be sitting there playing this game, doing the police chases, and I would have my stereo just blasting and just hearing the car noises, the sounds that it would make, the way that it just sounded so good that I loved it. I loved playing this game and I had so much fun, going back and forth on it. And I'm pretty sure I had beaten it a few times because it's one of those things. Once you beat it, and you finish everything that you need to do, all the races and all that type of stuff, there isn't too much that you can really go back and do other than just replay the races that you already finished. So there was lots of times where I would go back, do the story again, and then just play it as much as I could, and then do as many police chases as I could. I love the police chases. It's one of those games I still own it on the GameCube, so whenever I get the opportunity, every once in a while I'll go back and play. It's been a while since the last time I did, but if they were to make a remake on this and make it well, then yeah, I would probably end up getting really stuck on this. So I think that's actually pretty cool if they do decide to go into it. So we'll check out what we got in the article here, and then I'll give my thoughts as we go along. So the 2005 original version of Need for Speed Most Wanted is easily one of the most popular in the series, and it turns out a remake of it isn't entirely impossible. And that's one of the crazy things right there, because I remember I had seen a post one time, I think it was like on Instagram or somewhere, where people had asked like, what's your favorite Need for Speed? And surprisingly enough, a lot of people, I thought were gonna go for Most Wanted, but a good portion of them were saying that they liked Carbon over Most Wanted. Not to say that they thought that Most Wanted wasn't good or anything like that. They just felt that Carbon was just a little bit better in their opinion. And as much as I ended up playing Carbon and I liked it, but there was just something about Most Wanted for me that I really enjoyed. And I feel like some people have made the argument that, Carbon almost feels like really similar to Most Wanted, but the difference is the fact that like Most Wanted is played all throughout during the day, while Carbon is played all throughout night. And I feel like if they were to be able to alternate the two, so have it so that you could play some of the same areas at night in Most Wanted and then play the same areas in the day for Carbon, I feel like that would have been able to give the game like a little bit of a different light as well on both sides. So I feel like that would have been pretty cool. So, let me continue on. So, over the course of the 30 years the series has been around for now, there is definitely a case to be made that 2005's Need for Speed Most Wanted is the best one in the bunch. I personally, that's how I feel about that one. It was hugely successful and is still the best selling game in the entire series, so it's no surprise that there are fans that want a remake of it. Well, there's some slightly good news for those of you that fit into that category, as it seems like it could be possible. Reddit user Gerald2K shared a clip seemingly of himself interviewing Derek Hamilton, who played Razor in the original Most Wanted, at a convention asking how the game changed the actor's life. And then he said, I've always been kind of quiet with the game, Hamilton shared. Everything I've been asked to do for Need for Speed and for Razor has always been a bigger thing. An interview or that type of thing, and I haven't done too many. Hamilton noted that his appearance at the con was because fans asked him to come, with the interviewer then making the point that he hopes EA will see the clip and make a remake of Most Wanted, to which the actor responded, You guys keep asking for it. They told me anything's on the table. They love you guys and want to do what you want. So that's actually pretty cool, especially if they are actually listening to the fans and they are considering what they would like as far as the future goes for the Need for Speed franchise, whether that is, a new game, or if they do want a remake of, Most Wanted, or if they did want a remake, let's say for like Carbon, or even a remake for Underground or Underground 2, because those games, I mean, I remember them being really fun. I never got to play Underground 2, unfortunately, but I did have Underground when it first came out. And yeah, when you do go back and play it does look a little bit dated. The graphics aren't the greatest. So being able to see like a decent remake of any of those types of games from the past for Need for Speed, I think that would actually be really cool and it'd be really nice to see, especially with, the advancements that we have in racing games. I feel like it would look so clean. This year was actually the 30th anniversary of the series, with the game's own devs sharing a roundtable last month that new entries' biggest challenges is literally the age of the franchise. The most recent release was 2022's Need for Speed Unbound, which was generally received well, but seemingly did quite poorly compared to its predecessor, Heat. So it seems like right now your best bet is to hope that EA does give you a remake of Most Wanted, though whether that's the right choice for the series is anyone's guess. Well, with it pretty much at this point being 3 years, with it being, 2025 coming up, I feel like if they did decide to go and do a remake, that wouldn't necessarily be the worst thing. Just because at the end of the day, it is one of those situations where you can have it so that you can make the remake and then kind of see how it works for fans, and then at the same time give you a little bit more time to work on the next the next not franchise, but the next entry in the series. Whether you know what I mean, if you did want to kind of take it back to its roots and go just straight racing, or if you did want to kind of go the route where you are kind of, being chased by the cops kind of a thing, like you are in Carbon and in Most Wanted. So I feel like it would most likely work well for them, especially considering, like they said, how many fans want a remake and how many fans out there more than likely would be willing to pay for it. Because, as I stated, if they did decide to come out with something new, for, as far as like a remake or for Most Wanted, or even like say like Carbon, I would most likely go and pick it up as long as it's received well and it does play like the original. Yeah, I would love to see a new remake of that. Just because, there are times when you're like, especially I'm thinking about it like when you're getting chased by the cops and everything like that, where they do have some of the obstacles that you can use to kind of stop the police from chasing you, like hitting like with some of the billboards or crashing into some of the construction zones that'll end up making the police kind of their cars break down and everything like that. When you play it nowadays, if you look at it, it does look a little bit janky. It looks a little bit funny at times. But if they are able to clean up stuff like that, make that look good, as well as the way that the cars drive and everything like that, because that's pretty good for the most part. But there are certain things about that game that they do look dated. So if they are able to go back and kind of clean that type of stuff up, make it look nicer, as well as just make that gameplay just really fun, I think that could bring the franchise into a really good direction, as well as bring a lot more people that haven't really been too into the Need for Speed franchises, kind of either back or get new players into wanting to play it. So I feel like this would be good news if they did decide to go this route, but that's just me. So those are my thoughts on that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Would you guys like a remake of Need for Speed Most Wanted if they do decide to kind of listen to the fans and everything like that? And yeah, if you guys can let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you guys could like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you guys have been watching this long, I really appreciate it. It means a lot. And yeah, until next time, Harmonic out. Peace.